अस्सलाम वालेकुम माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम बैक। आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं साइनोबैक्टीरिया की। हम बस मुख्तसर सी बात करेंगे। व्हाट आर साइनोबैक्टीरिया, हाउ दे रिप्रोड्यूस, व्हाट आर देयर हार्मफुल एंड नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स। ओके, first of all, we will look at the term cyanobacteria. It is derived from the Greek cyano, which means blue, and bacteria, which means rod. Okay, these are actually bacteria which are having somewhat blue shade. Okay, blue green shade. Now some general characters of cyanobacteria. These are prokaryotic, just like bacteria. We are discussing the third group of Monera. Okay, these are prokaryotic, gram-negative, and photosynthetic. These terms are self-explanatory. I don't need to explain them one by one. Now their distribution. They are predominantly aquatic, found in ponds, pools, lakes. Okay, usually freshwater lakes. Many are terrestrial and are found in moist soils and moist rocks. A few are marine. They are found in brackish zones on rocks at high tide mark. Brackish zones means waters having high salt concentration. These zones actually exist between marine water and fresh water. Okay, they exist in brackish zones. And some of these blue-green algae, they live as endophytes, or you can say endozoic. Okay, they are endophytes, that means they live inside the bodies of plants, and they are endozoic, which means they live inside the bodies of animals. Now these blue-green algae are cyanobacteria. They are also found in some unusual habitats like hot water springs. Example is Formodium. Polar regions. Example is nostoc. And you can see the red color of Red Sea. It is because of a blue-green algae which is known as Trichodesmium erytharium. Okay, Trichodesmium erytharium. It is found in Red Sea, and Red Sea gets its color because of the red color of Trichodesmium erytharium. It is red colored. Okay. Then some of these blue-green algae, they exist in symbiotic association with lichen. You can find them in lichens. Okay, they are present in coralloid roots of cycas. We will discuss these things when we will talk about gymnosperms. They are present in azolla. Azolla is a pteridophyte, and they are present in Anthoceras. Okay, so you can say that the blue-green algae, they also exist in symbiotic association with some other organisms, like you can find them in lichens. Okay, you can find them in coralloid roots of cycas. You can find them in the leaves of azolla and in the thallus of Anthoceras, which is a bryophyte. Anthoceras एक bryophyte है, इसके thallus में भी ये blue-green algae पाए गए हैं. Now their body organization. Okay, what is their body composed of? They may be unicellular, multicellular, and filamentous. We will talk about every type one by one. First of all unicellular. Unicellular means the body is entirely composed of just a single cell. Example is Chlorococcus. Some are multicellular. Okay, yeah, you can say multicellular colonial. They form a colony. Here you can see this is the multicellular colonial blue-green algae. Example is Giliocapsa. Some are filamentous, and these filaments are of further types. They are of further categories. Simple unbranched without heterocyst. Okay, simple unbranched. This is the filamentous blue-green algae, but it is unbranched. Simple unbranched without heterocyst. इसमें heterocyst नहीं होता है. Heterocyst क्या होता है? Heterocyst एक special type of cell होती है. It is having additional wall layers, and this cell is involved in the fixation of nitrogen. Okay, example is Oscillatoria. Simple unbranched with heterocyst. Example is nostoc. Here you can see this is the special type of cell having additional wall layers, and this cell is specifically involved in the fixation of nitrogen. Example याद रखना बेटा nostoc. Okay, then we have another body organization, that is Heterotricus. Heterotricus means they have prostate system as well as erector system. Here you can see this is the prostate system and this one is the erector system. Okay, and this heterotricus habit, or you can say heterotricus body organization, it is further of two subtypes. One shows false branching, example is Scytonema, and second one shows true branching, example is Fissurella. Okay, Fissurella. Here I will tell you what is false branching and what is true branching. Okay, here this is the false branching. You can clearly see these are actually two different filaments. Okay, and they seem to form or diverge from a single filament, but they are actually two different filaments. This is false branching. Heterotricus first of all means having prostate system and erector system. इसमें भी prostate system and erector system है, लेकिन it is false branching. Okay, example याद रखना Scytonema. And true branching is here. You have branches arising from the prostate system, and these actually originate from the prostate system. These are not different filaments. Now their cell structure. First of all, we will talk about cell wall. Cell wall is firm and rigid. It is two-layered. Inner layer is composed of peptidoglycan. Outer layer is of proteins, lipids, and carotenoids. Okay, you have to simply remember these terms. It is composed of two layers. Inner layer is made up of peptidoglycan. Outer layer is made up of proteins, lipids, and carotenoids. The cell wall is surrounded by a mucilaginous covering, and this mucilaginous covering is made up of polysaccharides and lactic acid. Okay, ये हमारा cell wall है यहाँ पे. This is the cell wall, and this cell wall, this is the cell wall, and this red colored shade here, this represents the mucilaginous covering. Now their cell membrane. The cell membrane, it is a bilayer. It is made up of phospholipids and proteins, just like in case of other organisms. Then their cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, you will not find membrane-bound organelles. Membrane-bound organelles in cytoplasm are absent. You will not find mitochondria. There is no endoplasmic reticulum and other membrane-bound organelles. Okay. Then the cytoplasm is differentiated into two distinct regions. One is known as chromatoplasm. It is the outer pigmented region. This is known as chromatoplasm. And then we have centroplasm. Centroplasm is the central hyaline region. This region is the centroplasm. Okay. And in the centroplasm there is genetic material. I will repeat. The cytoplasm lacks membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. It is differentiated in two regions. Chromatoplasm, it is the outer pigmented region, and the centroplasm. Centroplasm means the central hyaline, okay, non-pigmented region. Or you can simply say the outer region is colored and the inner central region is not colored. It is hyaline, okay, somewhat colorless. Then there are thylakoids. The peripheral sheet-like lamellae. Here you can see these are the peripheral sheet-like lamellae. Okay, these structures you cannot here see them clearly. Lamellae. Okay, these peripheral sheet-like structures, they are known as thylakoids. Okay, these thylakoids, they contain photosynthetic pigments, and besides photosynthetic pigments, इनमें lipid globules भी होते हैं. Now the photosynthetic pigments which are present in the thylakoids, they include chlorophyll A, then we have beta carotene, myxoxanthophyll, myxoxanthin, C-phycocyanin, and C-phycoerythrin. Okay, these are the photosynthetic pigments which are present in blue-green algae. Chlorophyll A, beta carotene, myxoxanthophyll, myxoxanthin, C-phycocyanin, and C-phycoerythrin. Okay. And depending upon the composition of C-phycocyanin and C-phycoerythrin, the algae can be either blue-green or it can have red color. Okay, अगर C-phycoerythrin का concentration ज़्यादा होगा, it will assume somewhat red color. Okay. Then their nucleide. the genetic material, it is naked. The DNA is naked, it does not contain the histone proteins, there is no nucleolus, there is no nuclear membrane, okay? It lacks the nuclear membrane. Yaad rakhna, nuclear membrane is absent, and the DNA, or you can say genetic material, it does not contain the proteins, histones, basic proteins. Then other inclusion, cellular inclusions which are present inside the cytoplasm. We have gas vacuoles in some blue-green algae. They give buoyancy, or you can say they provide balance in the aquatic habitats. Cyanophysin granules. Cyanophysin granules, they store protein. Volatile granules, they store phosphate. Beta granules, they store lipid droplets. Alpha granules, they store cyanophysin starch. It is a type of starch, okay? It is specifically present in blue-green algae. Polyhedral bodies, they contain RNA, and then we have 70S ribosomes, just like we have in other bacteria, okay? Now some special cells are present in some blue-green algae which are known as heterosystes. Heterosystes are actually large, rounded and thick-walled cells, okay? These are present in the filaments of some blue-green algae, and these are the sites of nitrogen fixation. Heterosystes are the sites of nitrogen fixation. They are basically present in some blue-green algae. Example: nostoc, anabina, alocera and cylindrospermum. इनमें heterocyst पाया गया है. Okay. Now their nutrition. Their nutrition is they are photoautotrophs, just like plants. They do oxygenic photosynthesis. They use water, carbon dioxide and prepare their organic food material. Okay, and besides this, they generate oxygen during this process. That means just like higher plants, they are photoautotrophs. Now their reproduction. They reproduce mostly by vegetative and asexual methods. Under the vegetative category, under the vegetative reproduction, there are some blue-green algae which show fission, usually in case of unicellular forms. Unicellular forms fission दिखाते हैं. Fragmentation means the body of the blue-green algae, it breaks down and forms small fragments. Each fragment gives rise to a new alga. Okay, and Hormogonia. Hormogonia are the motile fragments. Okay, for example, this is the filament composed of many cells. This is the filamentous blue-green algae. Say, for example, these filaments, they break down. Okay, these filaments composed of a few cells, they break down. This whole fragment, this is known as hormogonia. Okay, it acts as a vegetative propagule. Okay. Now asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction occurs by various methods. Okay, the first one is achinits. Achinits are thick-walled perinating spores with reserve food. Achinits are thick-walled perinating spores with reserve food. Some cells, they get converted to achinits. Okay, they develop additional wall layers. They start storing food inside them, so that they can tide over the unfavorable conditions, and when the favorable conditions return, they can germinate. Endospores, the spores which are produced inside the cells, vegetative cells. Okay, they are produced inside the vegetative cells, and the vegetative cells, when they rupture, the endospores are released. Exospores, they are produced exogenously. For example, this is a filamentous blue-green algae. At the tip, it will form small sized spores. Okay, here you can see these are the endospores. This one represents, we have talked about the heterosystem, is a special structure. Okay, here this is the achinate. A cell enlarges, it develops additional wall layers and stores food material inside this. Later on, this achinate, it can give rise to a new alga. Okay, these are the exospores. These are the exospores. Okay. Now, an important note about blue-green algae. In blue-green algae, no sexual reproduction has been so far reported, but genetic recombination has been reported in some genera like Anabina. Blue-green algae में sexual reproduction नहीं पाई गई है, but in Anabina, some sort of genetic recombination like those of bacteria we have already talked about. जिस तरह बैक्टीरिया में जेनेटिक रिकम्बिनेशन हो जाती है उसी तरह अनाबीना में भी पाई गई है. ओके, all the three modes of parasexuality we talked about in the previous classes, okay, like conjugation, transformation and transduction has been reported in cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria में ये सब चीज़ें पाई गई है, conjugation, transformation and transduction. Since they are prokaryotes, okay, prokaryotes all show these parasexuality phenomena like conjugation, transformation and transduction. जिस तरह बैक्टीरिया में भी पाई जाती है उसी तरह साइनोबैक्टीरिया में भी ये प्रोसेस हो जाती है, जेनेटिक मटेरियल ट्रांसफर. Now the useful activities of blue-green algae. They are used as green manure. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. You already know that some blue-green algae contain heterosystems. They fix atmospheric nitrogen under wet conditions in rice fields. Hence, they can be used as green manures. Green manures, okay? Example is Anabina and Spirulina. Spirulina, okay? These are the two blue-green algae which can be used as green manures in rice fields. Single cell protein. Some blue-green algae are exceptionally rich in proteins, and as a consequence of this, protein-rich spirulina can be taken as a supplement by humans in the form of tablets. Spirulina एक blue-green algae है, इसमें high protein content होती है. Okay, these can be consumed in the form of tablets as a protein supplement. Okay, yoyocho, it is a food produced, or you can say these are the boiled balls of nostoc. Nostoc commune is a blue-green algae. The boiled balls of nostoc commune are used as source of delicacies and food by Chinese. The boiled balls of nostoc commune, remember this point, they are used as food by Chinese. They are the pioneers of plant succession. Cyanobacteria, they grow symbiotically with lichens and act as pioneers of succession on barren rocks. You will learn about succession in your next class, okay? I mean in your 12th class. They are the pioneers of plant succession on barren rocks. You might have gone through succession in your previous class, okay? Cyanobacteria, they grow symbiotically with lichens, okay, and hence act as pioneers of succession on barren rocks. ये succession को initiate करते हैं. They prevent soil erosion. Anabina and Tolipothrix, they prevent soil erosion and help in its conservation. Okay, how they prevent soil erosion? They form mats on the surface of soil, and as a consequence of this, the soil cannot get eroded by moving water or rain. Malaria prevention. Anabina and Alocera, they do not allow mosquito to grow near them. It has been found that Anabina and Alocera, these are the two blue-green algae, ये मॉस्किटो को अपने इर्द गिर्द ग्रो नहीं होने देते हैं, okay, in the waters, and hence they can be used in ponds to prevent the growth of microbes, to prevent the growth of mosquito. Okay. These two can be used. They can be grown in the ponds, other water bodies, and hence they can help us prevent the spread of mosquito. Now the harmful activities. Some of the harmful activities of blue-green algae are microcystis and Reproduction. They produce harmful toxins, and these harmful toxins, they affect fishes and other aquatic organisms, and besides this, they make water toxic to humans. Two blue-green algae, microcystis and Reproduction, they are extremely harmful for fishes and other aquatic organisms. Okay. Discoloration and damage to plaster and brickwork of historical monuments and other buildings. Some blue-green algae, they damage the brickwork and the plaster of historical monuments and other buildings. Change the color and spoil the taste of water in municipal water reservoirs and channels. Some blue-green algae, example Oscillaria, they have been shown to change the odor, change the smell and the taste of the municipal water reservoirs and channels. Okay. Degradation of textiles. Some blue-green algae have been found to degrade the quality of textiles. Okay. Quality of textiles, cordages and tents. They degrade the textile, or you can say they degrade the fabric material of the textiles, cordages and tents. Some blue-green algae, they are known to cause skin infection in humans. Example is Lingbia. It is a blue-green algae which causes skin infection in humans. Okay. So this is all about blue-green algae. I hope you all understand this. Okay. See you soon with a new lesson. Till then, stay happy. Thank you.